Right, so tonight we're going to be taking a deep dive into some of those like super creepy.
All right.
This one is called Grandma's House.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hi.
So picture this. You are house sitting for your grandma.
Okay.
It's late at night.
Hmm.
You've checked all the doors.
Yeah.
You're just kind of chilling on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly you hear a woman's voice outside saying, hello, over and over again. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's creepy. Just the repetition of it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's building that suspense. It's playing on that classic horror movie trope, like isolation and quiet being shattered by something totally unexpected.
Totally. And it always works.
It does.
It's like horror 101, right?
Exactly.
So the storyteller looks out the window, and what does he see? An older woman with a really unsettling smile staring through the blinds.
Ooh.
Like, right at him.
It's interesting how horror often, like, subverts our expectations, you
Yeah,
know?
really.
We tend to, like, associate old age with harmlessness.
Yeah.
So when an older figure becomes the source of fear, it creates this really powerful dissonance.
It is, and it always works.
It does.
It's so creepy.
Uh-huh.
So the voice stops,
Okay.
but then bang, bang, bang on the window.
Oh, God.
Right?
Like, right on the glass.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Sound is so crucial in horror.
Yeah.
You know? It's like it triggers that, like, visceral reaction. Almost like we can feel that pounding on the window ourselves.
Exactly. It bypasses our logical mind and goes straight to that, like, primal fear center in our brains.
It's like your body knows how to be scared before your brain even catches up.
Yeah.
So the storyteller, he freaks out.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he yells that he's calling the cops.
Smart.
And he retreats, like, away from the window.
Oh.
But here's where it gets extra creepy.
Okay.
A few days before this whole incident, his grandma had mentioned being watched by a woman in the grocery store who looked similar to the one at the window.
Oh,
and kept giving her these, like, creepy smiles.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
That adds, like, a whole other layer of unease.
I know.
Like, was this just a random encounter?
Right.
Or was this, like, a deliberate thing?
Yeah.
And this woman was, like, stalking her grandson or something.
Yeah, because it introduces the possibility of a premonition or stalking.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
It makes you question, was it just a random encounter?
Yeah.
Or something more deliberate and sinister?
That's what's so unsettling about it. You know, we don't get an answer.
Exactly.
So we're left with that, like, chilling question.
Is it coincidence or is there a connection?
And that open ending,
right?
It lets our imaginations run wild, which, you know,
right?
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's sometimes scarier than any, like, concrete answer.
It is.
You know?
It totally is.
So.
Okay, so let's move on to the next story.
Okay.
This one is called The Fake Date.
The Fake Date.
Okay, so this one's a bit different.
Okay.
It's about a college freshman who's super excited about his first date with a girl named Stephanie.
Okay.
That he met on a dating app.
Oh, so this is like a modern day horror story.
It is.
Like it could happen to anyone.
It really could.
Especially nowadays with all these dating apps and stuff.
Right.
It's so easy to meet people online.
Yeah.
And you never really know who you're talking to.
Exactly.
Until you meet them in person.
They made plans to meet for a movie.
Okay. Pretty standard.
Yeah, right. Like a pretty normal first date. But it's not Stephanie who shows up.
Uh-oh.
He's waiting at the meeting spot.
Uh-huh.
And a car pulls up. And an older man gets out.
Oh, God.
And claims to be Stephanie's dad.
Talk about a red flag.
Right.
That's like instant danger right there.
It's like it immediately violates the agreed upon plan, you know, and puts the listener like on high alert.
Exactly. And this is a classic example of why trusting your gut feeling is so important.
It really is, you know.
Yeah. If something feels off,
yeah,
it probably is.
You got to trust those instincts.
Exactly.
So the guy tries to pressure him into getting in the car.
What?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I just want to meet you first.
That's creepy.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't Stephanie be there too?
Exactly. It's like a super weird situation. But our storyteller is smart.
Thank goodness.
He walks away.
Good for him.
And as he's walking,
he
gets this feeling that the car might be following him.
Oh, God.
Oh, hey.
That feeling of being pursued.
I know.
When you don't know if you're safe. That's like primal and deeply unsettling. It taps into that like fight or flight response we've inherited from our ancestors.
It's like your body knows danger, before your brain can even process it.
Exactly.
He finally makes it back to his dorm.
Okay.
And he thinks he's safe.
Oh,
But then he hears footsteps outside his door.
Oh, no.
And the use of sound here,
Yeah.
it's brilliant. Because just when we think the protagonist is in the clear,
right,
that simple sound of footsteps brings the danger back.
Totally.
You know.
It's like a reminder that the threat is still out there.
Exactly.
Lurking in the shadows.
And this is where technology comes into play.
Okay.
But not in a good way.
Oh, no.
Remember, he shared his location with Stephanie?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So guess who's using it to track him down?
That's terrifying.
Right.
It's like a clever way to highlight that double-edged sword of technology,
Right.
especially with online interactions.
Yeah, we willingly share information for convenience, but then it can be used against us.
Totally.
In ways we never anticipate.
It's a scary reminder that our digital footprints can have very real-world consequences. And it really makes you rethink, like, how much information you share online.
Totally. It's like a chilling reminder that the people we interact with online aren't always who they claim to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So the guy shows up at his dorm, and like yells some vague threat.
Jeez.
And then our storyteller just bolts.
Oh, geez.
Runs away.
Good.
And thankfully he gets away.
Oh, thank goodness.
But later he gets all these like menacing texts from Stephanie's phone.
Oh, it's just so scary.
I know.
How easily someone can create this like fake persona online.
Yeah.
And use it to manipulate others.
It really underscores the importance of online safety. You know?
Totally.
Like we got to be vigilant.
Yeah.
We need to be aware of the potential dangers and take steps to protect ourselves.
For sure.
Especially with online dating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement.
Yeah.
And forget about the risks.
Okay, so speaking of unsettling places.
Oh, here we go.
Our final story. The janitor and the moving mannequin.
Mannequins.
I know.
They're creepy.
It takes place in that classic horror setting.
Okay.
A big, empty school at night.
Ah, yes. The school at night.
I know.
It's a setting that just taps into this, like, collective sense of unease. You know? Those long, echoing hallways.
Yeah.
The lingering presence of, like, childhood fears.
Right.
It's almost primal.
Okay, so our storyteller is working the night shift.
Okay.
As a janitor at his high school. And he's got this task to move some chairs down to a creepy basement storage room.
Okay.
What does he find down there?
What?
Dusty old junk. And a bunch of mannequins covered in sheets.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Now, mannequins are like the ultimate horror device.
Right.
They represent that unsettling space between human and inanimate object.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's something about their, like, blank stares and unnatural stillness that just triggers this, like, deep-seated unease in people.
It's like they're watching you.
Yeah.
Even though you know they can't.
Exactly.
So he's down in this creepy basement.
Okay.
And he realizes something is different.
Oh.
One of the mannequins is now uncovered. He swears it was covered before.
Oh, my God, that moment of uncertainty.
Like,
it plants that seed of doubt and makes you question what's real and what's imagined.
Yeah.
Our minds start filling in the gaps.
Right.
And that's when the fear takes hold.
Totally.
It just, like, creeps in slowly until you're completely freaked out.
Okay. And things are about to get a lot weirder.
Okay.
He spots a cloth in the corner of the room. And it's moving.
Oh, God, no.
I know.
This is like playing on our innate fear of the unknown.
Right.
We're wired to be cautious of things that are concealed or move in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
Our imaginations run wild.
Right.
Conjuring up all sorts of terrifying possibilities.
So he texts his supervisor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And for some reason,
What?
his supervisor tells him to investigate.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, why would you tell someone to investigate something creepy in a dark basement?
I know, right?
That's just asking for trouble.
Okay, so he goes back down to the basement, and now the cloth is on the floor.
Oh.
But whoever was under it is gone.
That's like pure nightmare fuel.
I know.
It shifts the story from, am I imagining things, to, there's something else down here, and it's hiding.
Right.
It's like a masterclass in building suspense.
Okay, and then the final scare.
Okay.
He hears these, like, loud thumps coming from the air vents above him.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he looks up, and he sees the metal vents, like, slowly being pushed down.
Oh, no.
Someone is crawling through the vents right above him.
That's terrifying.
Talk about claustrophobia, being trapped with something unknown lurking just above you.
It's a scenario that just taps into our deepest fears of confinement and vulnerability.
I love that the storyteller chooses to just get out of there.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Smart move.
He doesn't try to be a hero.
Nope.
Or confront the unknown.
He knows when to run.
He prioritizes his safety.
Exactly.
Which is a smart move in any situation.
It's a realistic reaction, too. Like, most listeners can relate to that.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from a potentially dangerous situation.
Yeah, it's like real-life horror isn't about fighting monsters. It's about knowing when to retreat and protect yourself.
Right. It's about recognizing when a situation is just not worth the risk.
Totally.
And getting out of there.
So we've explored 3 very different stories, each with its own unique brand of creepiness. But what connects them? Like, what makes these stories so effective?
Well, I think they all play on those, like, universal fears we've been talking about. Isolation, vulnerability, the unknown.
Right.
You know, they put ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah.
And they use those, like, familiar horror tropes to really amplify the suspense.
And you know what else I find interesting?
What's that?
Despite the shills, there's something strangely compelling about these stories.
Totally.
Like, why do we enjoy being scared?
I think it's because these stories allow us to experience fear in a safe way.
Right.
It's like a controlled dose of adrenaline, you know?
Right.
We get to confront those anxieties and fears without any real-world consequences.
It's like a roller coaster for the mind.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And by engaging with these fears in this, like, safe environment, we might even learn to cope with them better in real life.
It's like a mental exercise and preparedness.
Exactly. It's like building up those mental muscles. So when we're faced with a real-life scary situation, we're better equipped to handle it.
And these stories also remind us to be aware of our surroundings, to trust our instincts, and to take precautions.
Especially in situations like online dating, where it's easy to let our guard down.
Yeah, it's not about living in fear.
Right.
It's about being informed and making smart choices.
Exactly.
So before we wrap up, I have to ask,
Okay.
have you ever had an experience that echoed any of these stories? Like a strange encounter, an unexplained event, a time when your gut just screamed at you to run?
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Sometimes the most terrifying stories are the ones that hit closest to home.
Because at the end of the day, it's those personal experiences, those whispers of the unknown that truly stick with us.
So until next time.
Yeah.
Stay curious.
Stay safe out there.
Stay vigilant.
And maybe leave a light on.
And keep driving deep with us.
We'll see you on our next exploration of the extraordinary and unsettling.